Next on LBC News, and Storm Claudia is causing problems on the rail and roads this evening. We're being warned of potential flooding and power cuts with yellow and amber weather warnings for much of Wales and southern and central England. Tracey Garrett is Chief Executive of National Flood Forum, and she can join me now. A very good evening to you, Tracey. So, what are you hearing tonight? What can you tell me? I think there's about 45 flood warnings in place at the moment.
Yeah, there's the numbers growing steadily over England and Wales as we see the rain continuing. But what we're seeing is that people across the country are facing a night of uncertainty and fear and not knowing whether their homes and they themselves will be safe. We're already seeing pictures of people's homes and businesses flooding, and many more homes are likely to flood this evening.
Which parts of the country is the flooding worse at the moment?
Well, at the moment, we're seeing it in Hereford, parts of Wales, and other areas in the Midlands. It's really sort of that middle bit across the England and Wales.
And what do you advise people to do? Of course, there's some people who maybe are a little laid back about it and say we'll be fine. Others will be more cautious. What's your advice to them?
Yeah, I think most people who face the risk of flooding are really alert to it, and everyone must prioritise their safety and their family's safety above everything else. If you're not being evacuated, and some people will be this evening, if you're not being evacuated and time allows it, move some of your valuables and your irreplaceable items. But however, if you need to leave your home, you need to take some ID, some money, credit cards, make sure you pick up your insurance documents and any medication you might need. People really do need to look after themselves and their families and neighbours, and often neighbours rally round to support one another. Really, once you're out of your home, you must ring your insurance company if you have insurance and take the next steps and follow their instructions.
And what does the National Flood Forum actually do to help people? What's your reason for existing?
So we were set up by flooded people for flooded people. Started in Bewdley, one of the more regular places that flood.
I know it well. It's where I'm from.
Oh, right. So then you'll be very familiar with the situation in Bewdley.
Oh, yes. Luckily,
my barriers up tonight.
Yeah, I'm sure my family live at the top end of the town, which, for them, I'm quite pleased about. But yes, I'm very familiar with how high the River Severn levels get.
So we work with communities that flood, and we help them as they come to terms with the flooding and as they build a flood action plan into the future. Obviously, what we see now, climate change, is really bringing more and more incidents of flooding. Almost 1 in 4 homes will be at flood risk by 2050, and the financial costs of that are running into billions. And the communities we work with are really doing everything they can to protect themselves, make themselves as resilient as possible. Some spend tens of thousands of pounds on property flood resilience, but they of course can't influence climate change. They can't fix ageing sewer systems or control where development takes place. So what we really need to do is ask ourselves, are we doing as much as we can as a country to protect and support people who flood? And I think we would say the answer to that at the moment is no. We need to do more given the situation that we face with increased incidents like this.